On this week's episode of the Imagineers Disney Podcast, we have part 2 with special guest Terry Weaver of the WDW Today podcast, and we're going to be talking about the Disney Park apps and how they can help you on your next vacation. Stick around, all that ahead coming up on the Imagineers Disney Podcast.
Use your imagination.
So our main topic of discussion for tonight is
what we were going to talk about before Terry took us somewhere we had.
No, it's so fun to, Matt and I, we talk, we do our thing, but to hear outside voices coming and then it disrupts the flow, it's always super great.
Yeah, this is awesome. So, I get a lot of people, especially first-time visitors to Walt Disney World. Believe it or not, there are people who have never been to Disney out there. So,
a lot.
And they don't know what the My Disney experience is, and what the app is, and well, do I need to have this to go to the parks? Technically, no, but you need
realistically, yes.
You really do. So the My Disney Experience app, which is available on both iPhones and Android devices, it is going to be your lifeline to experience the parks in a more streamlined fashion. So you have everything in the app from your park map. So especially if you've never been there before, it's going to show you where all the stuff is.
Or you haven't been in 2 years because everything is completely changed recently.
Right.
Or 2 weeks at this rate. Let's be honest. This building's gone.
It's going to have your character location. So if you're bringing the kiddos along and, they want to go see their favorite princess, well, you can pull up the menu in the app and click on characters, and then it'll actually sort it by character, and you can see exactly where they are in the parks. So that's beneficial. Show times, you have wait times, which I think is probably the big one.
Especially with everything that we just talked about, you're going to have to plan your day very, very, very carefully.
So let's take
else you're going to get stuck.
Little poll here. How high is that number going to go for Galaxy's Edge?
I don't know if I want to answer that because I don't know how they're going to segment. The park will get to capacity in an hour and a half.
720-minute waits consistently. That's 12 hours to save you the math.
Oh, thank goodness. I was just about to try to do it.
I've only seen numbers like that once, and it was recently, actually. I think it may have been over at Tokyo, and there was it was a character meet. It was like Mickey.
Really?
I love pictures.
I can't remember what was going on. Maybe it was
it Mickey's birthday?
I think it may have been his birthday in November.
Dang.
And it was 8-9 hours long. It was crazy. Anyway, so this is the spot where you need to find the wait times within the app. That's going to help you plan out your day, avoid things that you don't want to wait that long for, save you some walking. So instead of, say if you're over at Space Mountain and you want to go over to Big Thunder, and then you go over to Big Thunder and it's a 90-minute wait and you don't want to wait that long, well, you've just wasted a bunch of time walking from one end of the park to the other.
But you burned off your Dole Whip, so...
True.
Or your third Dole Whip for the day.
True. Another really important thing to use it for is to make modifications to your FastPasses or add new ones. So, yeah, go ahead, Terry.
I love to use it right now. Right now, you're talking. I'm looking on the app and I'm looking at wait times. And I'm at Magic Kingdom. And Magic Kingdom wait times are awful right now. We're recording this at,
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock Eastern time in the night. 85, 90-minute waits for 7 Dwarfs right now.
What time does the park close?
I haven't gotten there. But Frozen, which is a crazy wait, 30 minutes right now.
Wow.
So now would be a good time. Now would be a good time to take advantage of that park hopper.
Yeah. It's probably spring break and people just wanting to be I want to go to Disney. And so they're not thinking ahead and planning those trips out or using the app and looking at what else is going on. And so they're Disney is Magic Kingdom. I have to go to Magic Kingdom for spring break. And not being mindful of, because 30 minutes for Frozen is a
Right.
unicorn.
Now, granted, it is 9 o'clock, and tonight's probably one of those nights where it's running a little late, but yeah, it's
That's a great time for that ride for sure.
yeah. It's
Um,
both Hollywood Studios and is already closed, and so is Animal Kingdom.
Hmm.
There's no wait times, and so I don't know if it's extra magic over at Epcot tonight or not.
maybe, but yeah, because
Still, I mean, it's the app is your best friend. If you're do not go without it. And if you've never been, if you're literally hearing this, and you're gonna love this what I'm about to say. If you've never been to Disney World, please hire a professional travel agent. And by hire, I mean they don't charge you anything. Disney pays them, and let them do the work of booking your trip.
and we gladly do it. We gladly
Matt
do
is,
it. So,
like, yeah, he's singing their praise because that's. I mean, you're absolutely right. Honestly, it's overwhelming right now for me to think about some of the like with Galaxy's Edge. I was at work. I get a text from Matt like, "How many nights do you want?" Because he knew I was interested. I told him, "Booked, done." I'm still working. Like I don't miss a beat. And so if you have no experience in dining reservations, which also can be done from the app, like we're talking about FastPasses and other various things, it's overwhelming, and it's not the most intuitive app of all time. And also, by the way, it crashes constantly. Maybe that's just me.
a little bit.
We did a show in WDW today where I was getting different things on the app than other hosts were getting. One of the guys had to uninstall and reinstall the app. He had to log in he had to create a new account.
Oh my gosh.
One of the things I will tell you, pro tip about the app, if you're the opposite side and you're like me and you're a DVC member and you have more magic bands than you have ornaments on your Christmas tree, go into don't use the My Disney experience, but on the web browser, and go in and remove all of those old school, especially all of the Generation 1 magic bands.
Yeah, those.
I had the worst Disney day of right before our conference that we do in May called The Thing. We waited like 4 hours to get into a treehouse because of magic band issues. There's only a certain
Number that you can.
the whole the platform that this is built on is called Stitch. Or Lilo, Lilo, and because I always make the joke, it sounds more like Stitch than Lilo, but it's called Lilo, and all of it's built on data points, right? And it's like a cubby hole at your kid's preschool, right?
Mhm.
There's only so many holes, and those magic bands are taking holes, and so like it literally can't handle it, and so I highly recommend
Unlink those.
unlink those. I literally have mine as tree garland. I mean, they hang up in our guest room closet, and
That's cute.
we have over 100 because we do a lot of DVC split stays.
Right.
And so, when I go in May, we're in 3 different resorts.
Speaking of resorts, you can use the app. Early check-in, I think, is helpful. Skip the line. It works. I've had it not work a couple of times. Most of the time, though.
The last couple of times I've been, I will give them credit. I'm the first to complain, but I'm the first to sing praises. The last few check-ins have been. I didn't even go to the front desk unless I had an issue.
My only issues is it's never mine. It's always someone else in my party, even though I make the reservation. I think it's because I have I switched over from my regular Magic Band to the like limited edition Rey and Kylo Ren band. But for some reason, it doesn't like that one. That's my only problem. We've been able to skip the desk, but I have to be like, can I use your Magic Band? Because it never likes mine.
Your phone works as a key.
Yes.
And
The app?
On the app.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Welcome to the future.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
gosh.
so I mean, well, let's not give Disney too much credit because
Hilton.
Anthony. So before we get going, look at those guys in the cutting edge. Hilton's been doing it for like 3 years. So
So if everything is working as it should, you should be able to go in on your drive down and do early check-in. Say when you're going to arrive, and then you can go to the park. You don't have to go to your resort lobby at all. and you'll get a notification that your room is ready, and then if you go back into the app, it'll tell you what your room is. So then you can go straight to your room and then use your phone or your Magic Band and unlock your resort room door. Another big one is dining reservations. So you can do this, always if you can, especially if you're planning way far in advance, 180 days in advance, go ahead and get those reservations done. But say you're in the park and you're like, you know what, I just want to see, I don't want quick service, I want to see what's available for table service. You can go in the app, see what's available. You can sort it by park. You can go sort it by resort. You can look at Disney Springs. It'll pull up all the ones that are available and show you the times, and then you can make your reservation right there within the app. So I've done that several times. That's a big thing. Also, mobile ordering.
Oh, life-changing.
When they introduced that, I was just like, this is the best thing ever. Why haven't we had this? I always do it. I'm typically a kind of a snacker, so like I'll just go to like something quick and grab something. But if I'm going to like a quick service like Satuli Canteen, this is where it really gets, comes into play and becomes handy, especially if the park's busy. You can go in the app, you can choose the participating restaurant and quick service that does it. And then you can select your menu items. You can select what you want to eat, what you want to drink. And then when you're walking up, just say that you're there, and then they'll prepare it, and you skip everybody else in line. So I've walked into Satuli Canteen specifically several times, where, especially when it first opened, or around the time of opening, and then mobile order was available there.
People were waiting like 40 minutes to get in that line, and you just walked past them.
Just waved, hello.
The condescending Disney podcaster that you are, when you know the inside information, you walk past all the people, and people looking at you like, who's that guy? Just a guy that has a phone. Like.
He's not special.
So that's huge. And that's pretty much the gist of the My Disney Experience app. They do the same thing over at Disneyland, so if you're visiting Disneyland, download that as well. There is a separate app for that park, for Disneyland Park and California Adventure. And, there's a newer app. So the Play Disney Parks app came out. It's been probably, like a year? Close to a year? Coming up, I think.
This is heads up is a thing. We need to do something.
This is true.
I mean, there was a time you looked around, everyone in line was playing heads up. It was fun. So Disney's branded, app version of this is giving you something to do while you're in the queue. It is available for use at Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And there are trivia questions, which are always fun because if you go with a group of Disney fans, everyone is like secretly like, I'm the biggest Disney fan. You know what I mean? Like everyone's kind of like vying. Like you really, really want to beat your friends who are also pass holders, who have also seen every documentary on the parks, on Walt, every movie. They've got the soundtracks. They got the Spotify lists, whatever. Trivia. So that can be fun and really intense, I guess, depending on, maybe I'm just really competitive. Maybe that's just it.
Apparently, yeah. And
I want to win. What can I say?
And I know you mentioned the NQ game. So there are a select amount of rides that will have NQ games that you can play. I know that Peter Pan and Space Mountain are a couple of them where you can go in and, like you said, Heads Up was kind of like the thing that I can most compare it to. Mm-hmm. But
have y'all ever? Do y'all have this app? I don't personally.
I do.
You do? Is it good?
I haven't. Like I've just actually, I downloaded it the day I came out, and since I'm literally logging in right now.
I haven't used it a whole lot. I used it the last time I was in the park on Friday.
We pulled it up during an episode one time, and it came out right after a trip when I was in the parks. I think it came out. I was there in August, September, and I think it came out then. But you have to select where you are.
Right. Yeah, it uses.
Locations kind of give you and unlocks experiences. Like I want to play Like I can't play the Art of Animation game because I'm not an Art of Animation.
Right. Yeah, it uses location services on your phone, and so it'll pinpoint where you are in the park. And so, like for instance, the queue game for Peter Pan, you can't just play that anywhere in the park. You have to be
Right.
physically in the queue.
for Peter Pan. Personally, my thing with it, I just don't really. I mean, I understand when we just talked for like a half hour about how Galaxy's Edge is going to be the most miserable experience of our lives, but why are we doing it anyway? I don't know. But that being said, for the most part, I don't stand in lines very long anymore anyway. If I don't do, and that's just because I'm a spoiled pass holder who lives 2.5 hours away. So if I don't get to ride something, it's like, okay, well, I've ridden it before. I don't feel like waiting 45 minutes for whatever, or an hour and a half for whatever, because I've done it before.
Yep.
But I still think the queue game is a really fun idea. I remember when they started just rolling those out with the physical games that like kids can actually be like moving stuff and like they do the touch screens, and I was like, this is genius, because these kids are like running down mom and dad's battery on their phone anyway. Like, give them something to do. Personally, just like, I think, kids don't need to be on the phones all the time. But if they're going to anyway, it might as well be an official Disney location that they're pushing you to.
Right.
And I think it gives Disney. I mean, Disney's obviously doing it because one, they want to make you happy, but two, they're collecting an unbelievable amount of data.
Where you're moving in the park, how long are you waiting here? Yeah, the flow.
And so, they know that, which was really all Magic Bands and FastPass Pluses were. It lets people know, lets them know where they're going, what you're doing, what park you're going to go to in advance. It helps with scheduling. I mean, I think I agree with you. Like, wake up and enjoy the world. Don't look at your phone. But, and I'm like you. I mean, if there's a 45-minute wait for something, if I'm walking up, and normally I'm not going to ride Frozen anyways because I've kind of done it and I've seen, and I miss the troll.
You get it.
Like, I get it. It doesn't work half the time, so I'm I'm good. I'd rather go to La Cava and hang out and chill with friends. Like, I go to Disney for the experience, and like I don't have to ride the rides every time because I've seen them.
Exactly.
There are days that I might go, like we talked about the 6 attractions. There are days that I go and ride less than that. But I don't necessarily. I'm not going to be gung ho go all day. Like, I'm going because the place is inspiring, and
Right.
we do a lot of sit down dining. That's kind of our thing. We're kind of foodies. But we would do, now that mobile ordering is a thing, we've done a little more quick service. At least at Epcot and Animal Kingdom. I don't enjoy any of the quick service options that are at Hollywood Studios. For sure.
No.
And there really
The
is.
commissary is, if you want a commentary on like the worst of society, go to the commissary, because it is just like people acting like wild animals to get a table.
If you
It's the rudest experience I've ever been. It made me lose hope in humanity.
if you want like a good quick service, even though it's not technically quick service, but it's faster than being sat down typically, the patio area for Brown Derby, the outside patio, great stuff. Like, they have a nice little tapas menu, and
I can tune in lounge too at prime time.
Yeah.
Yes.
My answer is this. Hey Terry, what's your favorite quick service at Hollywood Studios? Epcot.
You might as well walk.
Yeah,
For
get
a
on the boat. There's a friendship boat. You can sit for 20 minutes. You can all check your text. Not everybody can get their phone out, or it's a great 20-minute power nap. And you're in Morocco or France eating good quick service
food. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's somebody did mention that Sci-Fi had fried pickles.
yeah, I remember that today. Yeah.
I may hit up the Sci-Fi fried pickles, but Brown Dirt. Here's the thing with all of these tools: the games, restaurants, menus. You don't have to play by the rules. If you're not doing the dining plan, and the world is your oyster, you can go have fried pickles and leave a restaurant if that's what you want to do. I go and just get the Brown Derby salad a lot, like that Cobb salad. I love that Cobb salad.
Oh, it's so good.
And we'll go in at lunch and we'll get that, and that's it. And then we may go have a snack later, right?
Mhm.
And so you don't, I'll go to Le Cellier. We won't do the full menu. We'll go and have soup and,
Poutine.
poutine,
Yeah.
like, because that's, yeah, we've totally done that meal where we go have the salad, the cob, go hang out, end up at Le Cellier, and so you guys, everyone, keep going and paying $238 to go on Christmas Day. I'm gonna still find a way. You're not there, and I'm gonna go and find a way to get around you. So,
Yeah, do your own thing anyway.
so
Trying to like kind of bring everything back all the way back around. We talked about Galaxy's Edge, Play app. I think we mentioned this a few weeks ago when we talked about Galaxy's Edge, but you're going to be able to incorporate various things around Galaxy's Edge into the app. And it's kind of like the other rides where it's, it's something to do, something new when you're waiting in line. But it's going to be, I guess, like a little more of a step above that. It makes it sound to me like you have to sign in if you want to be a first order or resistance, and then there's certain things you can go around and scan, solve puzzles, hack the surveillance of the first order, which is
so
a cute code for playing games.
So it looks like, the land itself is kind of going to be split into factions. So you're going to have the resistance side, there's going to be the first order side, and I think, like, I guess the market is almost kind of like the free for all bounty hunter like type deal. And this app is, I guess, going to be receiving a little bit of upgrade. I'm really curious to see how well all of this works. I'll believe it when I see it, but it almost seems like the app is almost going to be like the third attraction to the land itself, because of how much interaction they are saying is going to be involved with the app. So, like Susie said, there's going to be like these surveillance boxes that the First Order have installed into portions of the land looking for the Resistance. And if you are on the Resistance, you can go up to the surveillance box with your app, solve a small little puzzle, and deactivate it. Then if you're on the First Order side, you can go back in, solve the puzzle, and reactivate it. It's kind of like this back and forth thing.
Yeah, you can also scan different languages and ride queues and things around the land. Here's my only, I think it's really fun, and I like that they're bringing, something mobile into it, giving you something to do. I really like the language thing, but that's because I'm a nerd within this subset of nerds. I want to know, like, what is my motivation for this, though, besides just learning something? Or, like, what am I doing these puzzles for? Like, I think they need some type of system where, like, you're earning points, or, like, you can cash it in for something, or, like, a pin, or you earn some type of, like, different level of something. I just think if they want this to work, for me, as an adult, I need more motivation than...
Well, it sounds like you're almost going to...
But I'm a late adapter to things. I can't tell you the last time I updated my phone. I just never do. So I have to be more motivated than, like, this is a new thing that we have. I think it's cool. I think the idea is great, but I just want to be like, why do you want adults to do it? Like, I get kids and teenagers going around and scanning things, but, like, I don't know if I personally would do it, though. That's just my thought.
It sounds like there's almost, and, like, even with the rides themselves, flying the Millennium Falcon, if depending on how well you do, you're going to gain a reputation within the land. Maybe.
Oh, it saves it? Like, it saves it to your account?
Maybe. Yes. I mean, we don't know for sure, but I mean, that's kind of, I feel like that's what they've been touting, is you're almost going to have a reputation in land based on your actions on the rides. Or
this is going to get to a point, I swear, where you're going to, like, create a character in this app, and we're just going to go full out, like, projecting reality for the for the Star Wars fans, and people are going to create, like, a character, and you're like a Togruta or, like, these other random aliens, and people are just never going to go back to their day job ever, and they're going to get consumed. And it's like a Black Mirror episode.
It's like Ready Player One.
Yeah, I don't know how. I get it. That's the one thing I've kind of been skeptical of the whole time. It's like this higher level of interactivity. I don't know.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm personally not motivated to use it. And I'm like, who is your target? I get the kids in line. I get the, hey, like, what does this mean? Oh, like this this says whatever. Oh, and that's like a cool Easter egg back to like an episode of Clone Wars or something. Like
But
on the surface, that's cool to know it. But why am I downloading an app when I could Google that? I just want to know like
actively
why.
roaming, like searching for things when you could
wonder
be, drinking blue milk or.
I wonder if they would have things that like change, like it's different.
So your actions in Galaxy's Edge are supposed to affect your day. So I mean, that's the theory.
It's the build your own adventure story.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like life is build your own adventure story, but
Like if you decide to be a member of the Resistance, that's going to affect what happens when you get on the ride and what happens when you meet a stormtrooper.
okay.
My understanding
That's what I'm thinking.
that
It's
was
gotta
going
get
to
to.
happen in your Magic Band, not on the app. The problem with this app is not necessarily Disney's problem. It's Tim Apple, as his new name is.
I saw that.
Is the battery on your phone?
Right, and that was going to be my next thing.
Yeah, and so I just
Y'all,
don't-
they're gonna have branded mobile chargers. You know it.
They've already got fuel rods.
Fuel-
They're gonna, but they'll probably sell a special like
A lightsaber.
the things where like you plug it into your phone and like the lightsaber lights up along the back when it's charging.
And I feel like
Actually, that's really cool.
like I have a fuel rod, and maybe it's just my phone. I don't know. Like I have a pretty large phone. I have a Google Pixel 2, and it doesn't charge fast, and it doesn't like fully charge. But I mean, maybe I don't know. They're gonna need something pretty powerful. I mean, because that is gonna suck up all your battery. Well, we will see.
I think it's a good idea. I like it. Like I'm optimistic. I just personally still don't feel the compelling need until I see it played out.
And I don't think you're I don't think you're old enough. You're young enough to, not to say you're old, but they're going for a 14-year-old here, right?
Sure.
And I think that's who they're playing to. They're playing to your kids are in line. Here's something for them to do. I mean, even the look of the Play app right now isn't that attractive to me. But Matt agrees from our show, like, his girls are, toddlers, and they love it. Like, I almost feel like maybe 14 was the wrong answer. Maybe it's like you're 4, right? And so, like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited to see what they do, and I think they're going to be testing a lot of that technology in the new Play Pavilion at Epcot.
Yes, that would be.
I think this app is going to come into play way more in the Play Pavilion than it will in Galaxy's Edge. I think Galaxy's Edge is going to be more based on your Magic Band and more like tap technology of where you've built a ride vehicle like you do on Test Track. I think you're going to see, I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think you're going to see that
interesting.
ride vehicle travel with you through the day. So your decision to be on the dark side, the color of your lightsaber is going to be changed by that, right? What the cast members say to you when you check out, I think that's going to change. You may get some resistance kind of activity with a cast member if they're on the resistance.
Well, if that's gonna go through, we'll see what it goes through. If it's, gosh, I hope it's not the app, but if it is the app, then absolutely. That
Right.
sounds so cool. But I don't know. I just think because this is like a whole new land and like this is part of it initially opening, it's definitely going to evolve, and I'm excited to see like where it'll go. I think the ideas are there. So
We are in uncharted territory for sure. So it'll be exciting to find out what happens. And I guess Disneyland's kind of going to be the first guinea pig on.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to get out there to see it this summer. We'll see. I'm trying to get another reason to go.
And just as a reminder, Disneyland opens on May 31st. Galaxy's Edge opens May 31st with one attraction. Remember that. And then same thing with Walt Disney World, August 29th. So once again, email me. My email is matt@travelmation.net. If you are looking to come to Galaxy's Edge and you want to experience all these new things that are be coming later on this summer and later on this year when the full land opens up for guests, just let me know when you'd like to go, and I'd be happy to get you a no obligation quote and send you to a galaxy far, far away. Terry, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
we
you.
really
That was
appreciate
great.
it. It was so much fun.
Yeah, and so you guys can follow up with me at terryweaver.com, and my conference in Orlando is called The Thing, and you can check that out at thething.live. In fact, I'll make a discount code for your listeners. Just use the code IMAGINE.
Ooh,
Use the code IMAGINE.
exclusive.
A little savings off of the
Cool.
And what are the dates for those?
May 17 through 19. One of the things we'll announce it here. We'll be going to Hollywood Studios at McNair. We'll be taking people on the Tower of Terror as part of the VIP tour on Thursday.
Yes.
Get to ride the Tower of Terror in the ride vehicle with the guy that created it. So we're doing that just for our VIP guests.
And Matt just logged in.
And where did I sign up?
And hopefully, typically when he's there, a couple of the folks know who he is, and so hopefully we'll be able to maybe even work a little more behind the scenes magic on there.
Ooh, so
Awesome.
bougie.
Awesome.
So,
So yeah, go check that out. Sign up. I know
Yeah.
I probably will now for sure.
well, it was fun to be on here with you guys and talk the good, the bad, and the ugly of Disney. We all love Disney, right? And so
Yeah, it's like we're the ones who are. It's like when your sports team sucks, you're the only people that are allowed to talk about it, not people who
right.
aren't your fans. So we can talk
Yeah.
about it, and
You guys are
everyone
both
will
from Florida,
respect.
so Florida hasn't had a victorious sports team in decades. So
My poor Jags.
yeah.
Anyway.
We digress.
Did the Jags pick up a quarterback though? So how about
Nick
that?
Foles.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a Titans fan, I'm not excited about it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. So, anyway,
Can't get worse.
This is true.
well, thank you again, Terry, for joining us, and thank you, everyone, for listening. As always, you can find us on Apple iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. We post our podcast links every week on our Facebook page and on Twitter. So go find us. We are the Imagineers Disney Podcast. And until next week, remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.